Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Today is actually the first and potentially a series of videos I'm going to do called No Hype Beer Stories, not reviews. I don't have a ton of them in my head yet that I was thinking that might make good stories and make worthwhile videos. But I've been able to like travel around. For example, I've traveled the world pretty extensively. Had some beers in some cool locations: Australia, China, all throughout Europe, Central America. A few, oddly, I've traveled less in the United States than I have abroad. So I have some kind of cool international stories and what beer drinking was like in other places. But because I was drinking this Bourbon County Reserve from 2017, I thought, you know what? There's a decent story behind me drinking this beer now versus and doing the beer review that I just did instead of back in 2017. So my wife and I got married around Thanksgiving, and so that's when we celebrate our anniversary, typically around Thanksgiving. So we use that day off and do a trip somewhere. This year we didn't go anywhere. Being new to the area, we decided to kind of put the house more together. We recently got into this house and maybe check the area out we currently live in. But historically, we've been traveling on and around our anniversary. So we decided to go to Chicago in 2017. We got tickets to see Hamilton. We definitely wanted to, I just kind of floated out there. I said, oh, it'd be kind of cool to go to Chicago. We could get the Bourbon County releases that you can only get there, prop, reserve. I know you get reserve elsewhere, but mostly in the Chicago area. And we knew Hamilton was playing there, a new city neither one of us had been to. We could see some of the things Chicago's famous for: deep dish pizza. Go to Second City for the Improv, which there's like I actually crossed off 3 bucket list items on that trip: deep dish in Chicago, Second City, and then seeing Hamilton. Um, so my wife, like a lot of wives, she's never wrong. I'm obviously I'm the one who's always wrong, and we had to drive about 3.5 hours to the airport from where we lived at the time, down in New York City, and I kind of kept like looking at the clock, like, okay, should we be going, honey? Like, we gotta get that, flight. We gotta, go through security, get there, park. It's after we get through traffic, TSA, get on, to the right terminal, get on the right flight. It's let alone maybe have time to the bathroom before we get on the plane. I don't know, just I like to get there a little early, and she doesn't like getting there as early as I do. And there was one really specific reason we couldn't leave until we did, and I'll save that for the end. And so, sure enough, we're driving down there, and I kind of keep looking at GPS and the time of the flight, let alone what time we're supposed to be there. And just seems like we're not doing very well. We get down into New York City, and we hit traffic. And then I'm saying we're really not doing well. And then we get on on the phone with the airline, and they're like, "Yeah, we can put you. There's like 2 tickets available." It goes like the most, you know, razor thin chance. Like, if we have 2 tickets available for like an hour later, like, all right. And then it costs whatever, $100 more. We're like, oh, okay, honey, we're gonna spend another $100. Okay, man, leave what time I want to leave. And I'm sure she'll love that I'm telling this story. Not that she watches my reviews often, but she'll do. It's really sweet as an aside. Sometimes I'll catch her. I'll just hear, "Welcome back to No Hype. Welcome back to No Hype. Welcome back to No Hype. Welcome back to No Hype." And what she's doing is she's just clicking on my different videos and hitting like, and then going to the next one and hitting like, and then going to the next one, or the thumbs up, I should say. So it's very sweet. But yeah, I don't think she really watches these videos. And it's like, all right, so we're gonna spend that money to buy us an hour. Okay, cool. And I'd brought an extra suitcase to, between the two of us, buy as many of the variants as possible. We don't get a lot of variants. This year I lucked out with variants. We don't get a lot of variants. So I was going to buy like, the max of every variant. And then I had people in my hometown getting me the regular. So I would be able to get everything. And then with two of us buying variants, I could, thank those people with some variants. So I had it all figured out. It was part of the trip, blah, 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 blah. Well, the traffic's not going as fast as possible. Okay, so then it's like, all right, we get to the airport. Honey, you get out, go check us in. I'll park, right? And then the reason I mentioned trying to buy all the variants, I had brought an extra suitcase with material to package the beers so we could check the bag and could, safely go. I didn't make that split-second decision. Do I bring the bag? So I'm like, well, Murphy's Law, right? If I don't bring the bag. We'll get there in time. I'll be able to buy all the variants, but I won't have a way to get them back easily. I'll have to try to find a way to ship them to myself or buy luggage there and then packaging material there to check the bag or try to buy a box and ship it to myself. Whatever. It'd be annoying and take away from the trip. So I decided, I'm going to be an optimist. I'm going to be able to get all these variants there. I'm bringing it. Find her at the airport after I park with the bag. Sure enough, if I hadn't brought the bag, we could have made the flight, which would have then got us to Chicago in time that we could have gone. We're going to go to the main Binies or Bliney's, whatever it is, there in Chicago to get the beer. And then it'd be, yay, I got everything I wanted. The rest of the trip, let's go. So obviously that did not happen, and we had to wait till the next morning to get a flight to Chicago, which means that I got to Chicago too late, and I tried a bunch of stores. I called around. There was just no getting this, the variants. And the best we could do, and I should have done it, is there were still a couple spots left at the Goose Island, Claiborne, wherever it is, brew pub that they call it, where they did I think was it just a pairing or was it a dinner and pairing? But you were going to try all of them and then they would give you one of the bottles. And you didn't know which one. It ended up being prop. Or at least the time that I was there watching it happen, it was prop. But I said, honey, it's fine, whatever, it's cool. And we should have done that. It would have been totally worth the money. So we went to Claiborne. I was able to try this. So it was really nice. So there's a nice thing to the story. Back home, people were really looking out for me. I kind of had sent a message to a local Facebook group, I didn't get here in time in Chicago. I kind of, got screwed and don't have, I'm not transferring my wife under the bus, so I kind of don't have access to what I thought I would. And a guy got Northwoods for me. Actually asked me how many I wanted, which was super kind. I got, there was some barley wine and coffee still. So in my hometown, coffee and the barley wine plus the regular. So I got a whole case of regular and then whatever the limit was for those two. And then an hour away, randomly a place had Northwoods, so I got one or two of those. So I got the variants except for the prop and the reserve. Then at Claiborne, I looked at the time they were tapping and stuff. So not that tasting I was talking about, but just they were going to tap, and the kegs went quick, really quick. And my wife and I saw, so I was telling her, I said, well, these ones I can get. I said, and we lucked out back to back with, it was every hour, every half hour, whatever it was that they were releasing these. They were doing the reserve and the prop. So I was able to try all of them. So that was awesome. So the suspense. Why couldn't we leave on time? My wife was waiting for a pair of her jeans to dry in the dryer. So we were going to be in Chicago for, I think it was 3 nights. Yeah, 3 nights. And admittedly, her butt looks very cute in those jeans, and I agree. And my wife has a very cute butt. But I could have gotten prop, reserve, more of the variants than I ended up getting, and still seen her in other jeans and pants that would have made her butt look cute. So because of my wife's cute butt jeans, I was unable in 2017 to get the full allotment in Chicago of the Goose Island, Bourbon County, and its variants. This has been the first episode of No Hype Beer Stories. Should I do more? Let me know in the comments below. Again, I have traveled internationally pretty well. I have some kind of interesting stories. Definitely would be shorter than this. This is probably the longest story of the ones I would be telling. But let me know if you're interested. I don't know how good of a storyteller I am. I just stick to the beer reviews. Cheers.